Yo guys, welcome to The Last Lap. Don't forget to drop a lovely, juicy 5-star rating if you're watching on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Hope you enjoy, and let's get into it.
So we'll start with Aston Martin, which you're kind of... the greens changed slightly again this year.
Yeah.
I think from the renders anyway. We've seen the livery, it's fundamentally the same, which is going to be a theme, because most of them are fundamentally the same.
Yeah. But it's just...
But what are we saying about the Aston?
I mean, there's a few little... I think the front wing is less green, isn't it, than it was last year. But
There's less of the fluoro green.
Yeah, that is about it, though, in terms of like the changes. Looks nice, though. The thing is, unfortunately, when it comes to liveries, we all want something that's like new and exciting. We all go, oh my God, when it's a new design.
Well, it's more interesting to talk about.
It's more interesting to talk about. There's more to talk about because it's different to last year. But like ultimately, the Aston Martin livery is nice.
It's a banger.
It is nice. It's gotten a lot better since they first came in, when they had like the pink for some reason, just chilling there for no reason.
Weird.
But like the sort of dark green, light green little highlights, that's nice. It looks nice. It looks like an Aston Martin should do.
Yeah, I think they've actually kind of simplified it a bit. They took some of the fluoro off of the fin at the back that they had last year, and balance-wise, I think it's great. And also, like, compared to a lot of the other teams, there's not crazy amount of carbon, because everyone's complaining about exposed carbon, and I get it.
Yeah, to reduce weight, right? So you don't have to put as much paint on a car. Yeah.
Exactly. But also, you know, when you put a white sponsor on a black background, it stands out, like having that maximum amount of contrast. So teams are always going to entertain doing that. But I think Aston, like, it's nice, metallic, bit of a changing colour, but like good sheen to it. It looks good, but also, look, the rumour mill appears to be quite positive towards Aston Martin at the moment.
Yeah, they think it's going to be an actual competitive car this year as well.
Like potentially up there with McLaren and Alpine. That's where I'm thinking that's going to be like that 2 is going to become a 3 in terms of best of the rest. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. But do you think, is that just, are we just gassing it up for like no good reason? Or do you reckon, because tail end of last year, so second half of last year, they were Aston Martin were comfortably ahead of the teams below them.
Yeah, Alfa Romeos and Alfa Tauris.
And they weren't that
like
far off McLaren and Alpine by the end.
No, I mean, I always remember the Austin race. You know, the actual points tally or points amount they could have got from that Grand Prix could have been absolutely mental. You had Lance Stroll and Vettel. I think they were 5th and 6th at one point, like throughout most of the first stint, or 6th and 7th. But I'm pretty sure it's 5th and 6th.
Lance.
And then Lance decided that he was going to get a little bit too friendly with his future partner. He just wanted to, get up close and personal, show him that, that they were going to be pals next season, close friends, a bit too close.
Valentine's Day introduction.
Yes.
It's Valentine's Day today.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's.
It's my one true love, Tommo, by the way. See, you don't see that on the visual. No, you do see that on the visual. You don't see that on the audio only.
Exactly. If you wanted to see our
it was Bluetooth connection. Then you get me. But yeah, look, listen. Back to Aston Martin for a second.
I'm blushing here.
Yeah, what? Take me out to dinner first. You know what I mean? No one's. I think there's definitely the potential there based off the performance from the end of last season.
Yeah,
to really cook on, Jesus Christ, to really kick on. I mean,
they're cooking something in Aston Martin for sure.
Let him cook. Hold on, let them cook. Fernando Alonso's there. He's going to extract the most out of the car. Realistically, I just hope that they don't crash into each other on a regular basis, because Fernando was often not happy with Esteban Ocon's driving when it came to teammate versus teammate battles. Yeah. Lance has been a little bit hectic from time to time with that, especially last season, thinking of Brazil.
Fernando's already been throwing a bit of shade as well. Like, has his old team saying about how, like, obviously not naming names, but saying that teams has been at the past that had success historically, kind of rested on their laurels a bit and were quite. He was saying quite content to kind of be in that best of the rest, which obviously they weren't, but I guess from a mentality point of view, a team like Aston Martin that, was Force India, was Racing Point, has never, excelled right at the very top, apart from, that Checo win. I think it's one of them that you can understand there's probably a mentality difference. They're going into their new facility, which will be opening, I believe, later this year. I think then the wind tunnel will be ready the year after that. and they've got all this ex-Red Bull Mercedes personnel coming in, and obviously, not stealing things from other teams, but you hire someone for their knowledge. They have knowledge of having worked with, people like James Vowles and Adrian Newey, and not James Vowles, James Allison. Yeah. And, I think that's all starting to come together now. So I think it's I think Aston Martin are going to be right up there.
I think what I'll say is in terms of like that sort of aspiration thing that Fernando was talking about, with the sort of Racing Point, Force India, you get me, sort of timeline of a team. They've just never really had the capacity. They've never had the funds really to be able to go and challenge and properly excel.
Yeah.
So I think they are, potentially, now that they've got that finance in, now they've got that money, that backing, from Aston as well, they probably will show off the ambition that they've always had, and that'll hopefully match with his philosophy rather than, an Alpine who maybe have rested on their laurels a bit before.
And I've always said, like, I think not only the fact that Lawrence's son is in that seat, he's invested in Aston Martin, the car maker, so making that team successful should have a positive knock-on effect to the car brand, but also it's family, as Dominic Toretto would say. It's in the family, right? So even if it stops making commercial sense, if it means that he's giving his son an opportunity, and just will keep pushing away at it versus another brand that wouldn't necessarily stay on if the commercial viability, the market, and the performance of the car, is more likely to be more patient because it is his kid.
Yeah, boy. Can I just say, I was talking about this on stream the other day, and for some reason this came up as a conversation. I never thought about this before, but it was like, for some reason people were talking about which footballer certain F1 drivers would be, like if it was transposed, right? And obviously Lance, he's not going anywhere. Like Lawrence, his dad runs the team, innit? He ain't getting sacked anytime soon. And I feel like Lance Stroll is like a Victor Lindelof. That like he's not maybe the quality that he needs to be at Manchester United, but he's going to be there. He's not getting sold. Like, he's been there for a long time and he's going to remain there. Whereas Alonso is maybe like a Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Believes his own hype a lot.
So is
probably should have won more during his career.
Yeah.
Than Zlatan. Like Zlatan's kind of similar. Never won like an international tournament or whatever.
So what is Lindelof like love child of one of the Glazers then or something?
I know. Yeah, biologically maybe doesn't come. But I can't think of any manager son situations.
Yeah.
Like that.
It is. Obviously Fernando's been saying, I think Lance is World Championship material.
I saw that. Yeah.
Which look, Lance is still young. He's still developing.
He's a good driver. He's got a good junior. What's it called?
Yeah, good junior career.
As well.
Obviously helped by the finances. That does really help in junior formulas. But do I think his ceiling is? That of it's kind of when you look at drivers like Leclerc, like Verstappen, like Hamilton, like Senna, like there has to be a degree of like just instinction that can't necessarily be learned. It just you have to start so early and you just have it or you don't. I think that's the same with sports people across the board, and I just don't think Lance has that necessarily.
Yeah, no, I think that's not a detraction from his ability. It's more just like, if you want to win a Formula One World Championship, you have to be unbelievable.
I think this is his 7th season in F1.
Yeah.
This will be his 7th season.
Yeah, so he started in 2016, or was it 2017?
2017
with Williams. Yeah.
So experience-wise, like that's a good career. Like, some people like don't even have that.
Do not
like,
make it that far. Yeah, exactly. And I think he's earned making it that far.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted.
I just think his development over that time
hasn't been
it's been there, but it's not been to the extent of the improvement we like when Sebastian Vettel came into the sport and just was right up. So I think there's a solid base there as long as they can keep it. Obviously there's a lot of meme-worthy stuff with, Fernando, his exploits with Esteban and Lance not necessarily always being the most harmonious teammate with Sebastian during their time together. So that'll be interesting to see. But I think they'll keep it. I think Fernando will, even if he has to bite his tongue, I think he will, because this is Fernando's this has to be his last roll of the dice, surely.
Yeah, you would imagine.
Surely.
Yeah, because, I mean, where else does he go after that as well? Obviously, just from a perspective of, like, we're getting towards the end of the Fernando Alonso era just anyway. So there's not much.
You think?
You imagine. I mean, you don't know. I mean, he might be here till he's like 57 at this rate.
Look, he's 41 now, and like when a driver gets into their mid-30s, that's typically when there's an acceptance that, you might retire soon. Seb retired at 35, and it's like, it's so impressive, the longevity, and I just really hope that Aston can give him that car, because as much as I think Fernando's, he splits opinion and you either love him or hate him. And I've really I didn't used to be a big fan of Fernando at all.
Yeah.
But I think since he returned to the sport, particularly, I've just I don't know, I've just really changed my view on him massively. Mm-hmm. And I'm really fond of this Fernando, and I think he really deserves another shot at a championship. Yeah. And I hope Aston Martin can give that to him.
That would be amazing. Could you imagine? Because I for one, just want to see Lance Stroll in a title fight as well. That's another thing. I just want to see what the hell would happen.
No, you know what I want to see? Right, when they win a race, I'm saying when, not if.
Wow.
When Lawrence is up there on the podium. When they bring up a person...
Yeah.
Lawrence is going to be straight up there.
1,000% he's there. Even if they finish fourth in the race.
2 bottles of champagne just going to both at the same time. He can afford it. I'm not being funny.
Get a third one, smash it on the floor like the Lando one.
Yeah.
Spray that around.
That'd be fun.
Shirt off.
Love that. That would be good. But I think the challenge for Aston Martin is to break into that Alpine McLaren kind of midfield. So